What's up, everybody? It's been a while. We got a good one today. We're gonna do an S-video conversion on Model 1 Sega Genesis. I bought a kit from Console5.com, I think it's called. And yeah, we're gonna check out the kit and install it into my Model 1 Sega Genesis. I recently acquired this Sega Genesis. I know it doesn't look like a Genesis, but I already took it apart. There's probably 3 trillion videos on there on how to disassemble a Genesis. It's real easy. Just normal Phillips head screws. A lot of screws. Take them off. Bada bing. Here you go. You got yourself a Genesis motherboard. This is a VA7 motherboard, which is the last revision on the first body style, I guess you want to call it, of the Genesis. This is regarded as the stinker, the worst motherboard you can probably have, at least for a Model 1 Genesis, that is. It has terrible sound output due to the amplification and stuff like that, and that's actually something we're going to address in another video. In this video, we're going to address the video output, which isn't terrible. It actually natively outputs RGB, which is awesome if you live in Europe, but I don't live in Europe. I don't have any kind of SCART materials or anything like that, and I don't want to get associated with SCART because I'm American. Dang it. No, it's just expensive to buy the converters and stuff, and there's not a really 100% number one converter out there. They're all kind of just like knockoffs and stuff. I just recently acquired this. I've never actually owned a Genesis in my life. I've played it, my relatives have had them and friends have had them and stuff like that, and there's just a gigantic library of amazing games. So I just was cruising the net like I usually am, and I came across a really good deal, about $20, a little over $20. I got the Genesis, a bunch of good games, a couple controllers, yada yada, and it's amazing, right? So if you're looking for a really good bang for your buck console, gaming experience, definitely pick up a Genesis on eBay or Goodwill or at your local shop or something like that. They definitely don't carry that same Nintendo value like a Super Nintendo or a regular NES will, but you can still get some amazing games, and I'm excited to mod this one up a little bit and play it in my retro gaming area of my house. So let's get into it. What are your options for video output on a Sega Genesis? First off, the first and the worst is RF. I don't have the modulator. When I bought this, it came with an RF adapter or whatever, and I couldn't even get it to work, honestly. I don't know if it was the adapter or it was me. It's probably both. A step above that is composite, which is this guy right here. One of these guys. Slightly better than RF, and not bad, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're playing on a CRT, you're not going to really notice too much. It's not too bad. And then the step above that is S-Video, which is what we're going to be doing today. And then obviously above that is RGB, which is the best. Can't do that. Now you can convert the RGB into a component video signal, which not really easily doable, at least from what I've seen. And you can buy the pre-done cables from HD Retrovision, and you can just plug and play. You're good to go. That's the easiest solution and best solution, I'm assuming. Unfortunately, it's also one of the most expensive solutions, and I was going to try to do this on bang for your buck kind of thing. So that's what this video is all about. If you're looking for get a really good picture on your Sega Genesis Model 1, this is, in my opinion, the way to go. Let's do a little unboxing here. So this is the motherboard. As you can see, it's a VA7. The video chip is, let's get it. Let's focus here. Video chip's right there. It's a Sony CXA 1145. That's basically what this kit is. It's a kit for that video chip. It's not necessarily a kit for a certain Genesis or Master System, or Mega Drive if you're another country. I got the kit from Console5.com, and it's kind of a niche little website. They got some good stuff. Here's their card right there. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. Man, I'm working on a new video setup, so as you can see, it's a little shiny, to put it lightly. So the kit's kind of customizable. You can choose what you want. I chose just to have them send me some cables. This is free. They gave me an atomic fireball. If you like cinnamon flavored candy, this is the way to go. And then let's see. Here are the connectors. Oop. So you got S-Video, and then you have your RCAs. Red, yellow, and white. All gold connectors. Very nice looking. Very well made. And then here's the heart of the kit. Here's the chip right here that we'll be using right there. And then it comes with an assorted amount of capacitors and transformers and stuff like that that you solder onto the board. They're labeled very nicely. And then basically you bring your signal from the motherboard to this side. You got your 5-volt, your sound, your ground, and your video signals on this side. You run them through the board. They output on this side to your ports on the, where you'll add to the outside of the console, and call it a day. That's basically the gist of the mod. Pretty straightforward stuff. Pretty awesome little kit there. It's all kind of already done for you and looks good. So I'm excited to get that started. I will show some diagrams on the screen, kind of what the chip is and where I'm soldering to. To kind of sum it up real quick. Most of the video signals and stuff will be coming out of this little chip right here, and this side of the pins, there'll be a few pins here that we're going to pull from. This isn't a a through board, so I can't solder to the bottom of the board like I've seen in some tutorials. I'm gonna have to solder directly to the chip. I don't know if these are supposed to be here. There's like a random resistor and a random capacitor just soldered to the bottom of the board. I don't know what that's from. Evidently it's supposed to be there. I mean, the console works fine. I tested it and stuff. And then we're gonna pull our 5-volt from all the way to the right leg right here. We're gonna solder to that. That's gonna be our 5-volt source, and our grounds gonna be somewhere. One of these, maybe these random little spots. Pretty much anywhere we can get the ground from. Not a big deal. And yeah, and then the sound, I'm gonna work on the sound. I think I want to say I'm gonna wait to do the sound because I have another project for that. But I might do something temporary for that, just like a mono sound, just to kind of test the sound out and stuff like that, and have sound for the time being. Alright, so I got the board all soldered up. I just pretty much put all the transformers and capacitors and stuff, soldered them in. Now I'm gonna probably solder to the board, the wires to the board, and then figure out from there. Alrighty, so finished soldering everything to the motherboard. I think hopefully that's the hardest part. Hardest part notably being soldering to this chip. Now this is the M chip, which is just the same exact thing as the normal CXA1145, just a lot smaller. So harder to solder to. But luckily, I think I did it with no grounding issues or anything like that. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. But so you need to solder 6 things to this chip here. So going down the list, we have V in, which is video, and this is yellow guy. I try to keep it color coded. This is soldered directly to pin 20 of the chip. That would be like 5 over from the top left. You go 5 over, and that's that one. And then going down, you have Y in, which was Luma, and that is orange for some reason. That is pin 16, which is from the top right of the chip. It'll be 4 over, and then chrome is right next to it, closer to the edge of the chip. That's pin 15. Best way to do it is just look up the pinout. I mean, me trying to explain it to you is not going to be that great. So we have that. Those are the 3 that are directly to the chip itself, which is right here. You can get a little closer shot. Man, this autofocus is terrible on this camera. But there it is there. They don't look like they're attached, but they are. I tugged on them real good. Ground is just this little ground point right here. It's just a little random trace. Not a big deal. Like I said earlier, I soldered to this transformer here. It's 5 volts. Let's see. And then the final piece of the puzzle is the audio, which is right here. It's this pin right here. There we go.
Hey, this is me from the future. I soldered to the wrong point in the video. It's kind of embarrassing, but in the video I soldered to the composite video point, which is point 2. I was supposed to solder to point 6. I did go and correct it later on, but I just want to let everybody know, so ignore the audio aspect of this portion of the video. Thank you.
I know it's not super scientific, but I'm just kind of giving you how I thought of things and everything. But yep, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wires now. Now I need to solder them to the corresponding spot on this board. And then we'll solder wires from this part to our thingy-mabobbers. And they'll be good. Alright, so here's the finished, well, not finished, but my progress, I guess you want to say. The back needs a little bit of file down to get the ports to fit a little better, but that's where the ports will be. And then the RF shield's already off, but here's the inside. Everything. I just hot glued this board right on top of that chip there, and then as you can see, I just kind of strung the wires up here. You got the one ground. That's a little bit of a concern how thin that ground is and stuff. It's probably going to break off, but it's pretty easily fixed. I don't have anything wired into the white RCA yet because I'm going to do a stereo mod eventually, and so we'll do that. But yeah, I'll shoot some better footage of the soldering and the chips and stuff. Just this new camera I got, is not very good for action type shots and close-up shots. As you can see, pretty bad. There we go. But that's what I got so far. I'll do some footage of the difference in video quality between composite and S-Video, and that'll be that. Overall, my review of the board is pretty good. I mean, for the price and everything, and as long as you have the skills to do the soldering, it's a really good deal for really good video output.